Thanks to the pandemic, my tech nerdiness, and my DIY interests, I was finally able to build out something that I've always wanted to build. Now, if you know me, you know my house wouldn't be complete with a custom built network and a server rack. It's still a work in progress, but I was finally able to do it. Hey, it's John with Philomore.tech. As I said, I was finally able to build out my home network as well as put in a server rack, and I learned a lot about how to self-host services that I used to count on the likes of Google and Apple to provide. Now, during the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of people started working from home. Now, we didn't know how long this was actually going to last, but when it started to become apparent that this was going to be a long-term thing, I got to work. In this video, I'm going to take you through my small home network, as well as go over what I have on my server rack. So let's get down to it. So starting with my server rack, I went with a StarTech 22U rack. Purchased it on Amazon, and I couldn't be any more happier. It had the right price point, some good reviews, and I'm happy with it. I used to have a 42U server rack, but I realized it was way oversized for my needs. Another thing that I like about the StarTech rack is it's pretty sturdy. The depth of the rack can be adjustable, and it's also on casters, which makes it much easier to move on the carpet if I need to do any maintenance in the back of the server rack, or if I just need to move the rack somewhere else. On the rack, I've got a total of 3 servers. The first server is a custom built server that I made. It functions as my network attached storage server running Unraid. Second server that I have is an old Dell PowerEdge R710 that I got from work actually, and it's got decommissioned, but it is now running as my media server, also running Unraid, which is running a Plex and an MB Docker container. The third server that I have is running ESXi 6.7. I'm running that as my virtualization server. It's an old HP DL360P Gen 8. I'm primarily using it as just something for me to tinker around in my home lab. Right now it's running a Windows Server VM, as well as a couple Windows 10 VMs. And of course, you gotta have a Linux box, right? So I've got a Ubuntu VM in there as well. As far as network gear goes, I run a unified network consisting of a UDM Pro, which also is my video recorder. I have a 10 gig aggregation switch as well as a 24 port PoE switch. The PoE switch is providing power to the 4 UniFi access points that I've got, 3 of which support Wi-Fi 6. I know it's probably a little overkill for my 1800 square foot townhome, but we're covered. I plan on creating a few videos on what I'm running on my servers, as well as tutorials on how to install the Docker containers in them. Unraid makes it so much easier to run your own cloud server to take the place of Google Cloud, Google Drive, or Dropbox, because it gives you unlimited storage at home or even while you're on the go. It makes it easy to share home videos or any other media with your family and friends. And last but certainly not least, it gives you more storage for all of your computers and devices at home. Now, the reason why I love self-hosting services is because it allows me to learn something new. There's also nothing like the satisfaction that you get when you successfully deploy your own Google Drive alternative or being your own Netflix. Unless you self-host services on AWS, Azure, GCP, or Linode, or any other cloud platform, really, your data is going to be residing in the hard drives that are in your home. And there you have it. My network setup is still a work in progress, and let's be real, so are my servers. I'm really liking the Unify ecosystem, as well as the ease of deploying Docker containers from within Unraid. I would say it's very beginner friendly, and if you're thinking about self-hosting or getting into IT or this type of stuff, I highly recommend you starting off with Unraid. If you've got an extra computer or an old computer that's just doing nothing, go ahead and slap Unraid on there and make it your network attached storage device. Plus, you'll learn a lot, just like me, while messing around with virtual machines, and eventually I would like to get a little more comfortable with deploying Docker containers without Unraid. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow, and my goal right now is to hit at least 100 subscribers by the end of January. I'm a quarter of the way there, guys. Now, if you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon, which will notify you whenever I create new content and upload it to YouTube. Until next time, I appreciate you guys all. Have a wonderful holiday season. Peace.